Hello guys, Djinges here, and some of you might know that I regularly stream through the ages on twitch.tv, and on one of my recent streams we had a show match between two very strong players, Djinges and PhiTrigger. They did a best of three match for me, or for us, and for you to see, and me and Almerk from the Playing Through the Ages channel on YouTube commentated live on that match, and I didn't want you guys on YouTube to miss out on that, so I uploaded here so you can watch that. If you don't want to miss the next match that might be coming out at some point, definitely check out my twitch.tv/djparson. Then you can watch my live streams, join me on the chat, and we can talk a little bit, and you can see even more amazing games. With that said, enjoy the match, guys. Hello guys, and welcome to this very special kind of episode, or special kind of stream, because it's not a normal one. We have a show match for you guys, between two very nice people, Djinges and PhiTrigger. Maybe you've seen them. We're gonna do a little introduction to them, if you haven't met them before. They're also gonna come in on the chat and talk to us a little bit before the stream starts, or before the match starts. And I'm also not alone. I have a guest, and that is Almerk.
Yes, hello. It is great to be back. I'm very excited to be here. Can't wait to see this.
Yeah, this is gonna be really awesome. Maybe you guys know Almerk from his YouTube channel, Playing Through the Ages, or the last tournament that we streamed together was also on his stream. That is Play TTA on Twitch, right?
Yes, that's right.
Awesome. So let's just get these players introduced. First of all, we have PhiTrigger, and as a look, we're gonna have a look at the statistics on his CGE profile. As you guys can see, he's rank 46 with a lot of experience. Like what is that? 4 million experience. That is quite a lot. He has finished almost 1,100 in games, and has won almost 700 of those, so a win rate of 63%. That is pretty strong.
What's your win rate, DJ Parson?
My win rate, I think I'm at 73 at this point. I mean, we had the discussion about that during our last stream. It comes down a lot on the player count and who you play against. Like in a 4-player game, it's way less probable that you will win, so you're gonna have a lower win rate. Yeah. But it's still very interesting. What is yours?
70, I think. Oh. But I have only finished. I have finished a lot less games than he's won, so okay. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay, then our next player is Djinges, who has even more games. He has won 1,400 games. Has finished 1,400 games and won almost 1,100. So his number, or rank 10 with games won, with a 79% win rate. That is pretty crazy. But yeah, that should be a really good game. Both of them have played quite a lot of Through the Ages, both of them with a very nice win rate. So that should be very, very awesome. And yeah, I think we can get both of them into the call now, and they can have a little, I don't know, little talk about the game before it starts. If you want to do that.
Yeah, let me make that happen here.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, DJ Parson was back. We didn't have him here.
We didn't have me here.
All four of us are here now.
Everybody's here. Awesome. So yeah, first of all, welcome and thanks for doing this, Djinges and PhiTrigger. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, you're definitely most welcome. I hope we can expect some nice games. Maybe you can tell us what are you expecting from this game?
Yeah, I think it will be a very hard game. I already looked up the stats of PhiTrigger, and he's pretty good, I think. So yeah, it will be interesting how the games work out.
Awesome. And Almerk, have you also stalked your opponent and seen the win rate?
I haven't, no.
You haven't? No. Yeah, we just went over that. You're both with pretty nice win rates. So it should be an awesome game. Anything special you have prepared? Or I guess it's hard to prepare a game of Through the Ages because everything differs. Maybe something you want to see, like a certain leader or wonder that you hope you can show off?
For me, not particularly. I have played so many games that it doesn't matter to me what
Awesome. Just taking what comes your way. Awesome. And you, Djinges, have you?
Yes, I think that's the same for me. I'm just see what comes up and will do my very best with whatever game gives me.
Awesome. I think that's pretty good. So I think we can get the game started. So I don't know how we. Guess we just.
Okay. Are we fine with doing Super Blitz? You guys wanted that fast, or I mean, I usually play Super Blitz, but I didn't know if you guys wanted to commentate with it being that fast.
I think we will manage with that. Yeah.
Super Blitz is great. If you could do one thing though, potentially just take the game speed off of instant, maybe on fast. It just helps to see what's going on a little better.
And also just let us know what colors have you picked, so you don't have the same color. That is always a little bit confusing for people.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think I'm green. I have to look.
Yeah,
I am green as well, but I now change to yellow.
Okay, Djinges is yellow. That works. PhiTrigger is green. Perfect.
Let me check my game speed. I have it on fast. Is that okay, or medium?
Fast is okay, I think.
I didn't know there was a game speed. Let me look. I have it on fast. You said you wanted it on instant? Is that
No, fast is good. Instant is
fast is great. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So like that makes all the things happen faster.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Then let's hope for a very nice game. I think we cancel this call and I call you back, Elmeric. Good luck to PhiTrigger and Djinges, and we're gonna talk to you after the match.
Okay, see you.
Sounds good.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
So now call back Elmeric. Hope that works. Also, welcome guys. Welcome all of you.
Oh, what was that?
Nothing. I just wanted to welcome everybody who's watching already. So yeah, I think have they started already the game? Not yet. That's perfect. Also, I've prepared some awesome overlays for you guys. Here you can see. I hope that that works. It's gonna look a little bit different after this. And someone just went out of the game. I hope that... yeah, I guess we can tell...
There you go. Yeah, when he...
Yeah, I just told him to start. So it just started. So there we have it, guys. Yeah, and of course it doesn't work like I wanted to, but I think I have to go into full screen and here also into full screen, and then it should work. Yeah, it looks good. So you can see the card row in like on the left side and on the top side. It's hard to get both screens on the same side. So if we have more complicated turns, I will go into their individual screen. And looks like one of those PhiTrigger has to load back in. He wants some music for himself. Awesome. So let's take a look what is in the match, what these guys picked. I think, whose turn is it right now? So let's, I'm gonna go for Djinges' screen for now. He's taking a look through what is in the deck. That is pretty important. Sadly, he's going through it step by step, but looks like, yeah, he's thinking about taking Hammurabi and Urban Growth. And he does exactly that. Sanokin. PhiTrigger is still not still finding his best settings. Yes. And yeah, blue got Engineering Genius. And there the wonders come, Library and Pyramids. That's gonna be interesting if they pick those up, but they're still a lot of ways off, so I guess they will take their time. So blue going for that first mine. Takes Boudica. Goes for her immediately. Yep, in first place. What do you think about Boudica as first player?
It can be a good choice.
Yeah, definitely. Against Hammurabi even more so, because he's lacking military action, so perfectly makes sense. And like looks like he's thinking about either taking patriotism or frugality, I guess.
Yeah. I would go for frugality.
What he wants to do.
So it looks like he's counting to maybe decide which frugality to take.
Yeah. So he did that. Let's take a look at Djinges' turn. I guess definitely elect him away with this turn. And oh yeah, he put library on 2, so maybe that was what he was thinking about.
Yeah.
And yeah, he didn't increase population PhiTrigger. I think we can try the double view again, see what they are doing. So you're gonna have Djinges in the top left and PhiTrigger in the bottom right. I think we can adjust that just a little bit more. Yeah, that was a little bit too much. So you guys see I'm still struggling myself a little bit. First time I'm trying this.
Okay. I think I understand what I'm looking at now.
You mean my overview?
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked hard on that. So we have Djinges' screen on the top left, and then PhiTrigger's screen on the bottom right, and then we have the card row basically to the left and to the right. I know it looks a little bit confusing. I guess I'm gonna go back to the individual player.
Yeah, I
So
think
we
that
have-
could work once we get used to it, though.
Yeah. So let's see.
Yes.
PhiTrigger will take pyramids and can immediately finish that. That is pretty awesome. And decides not to use frugality. Very interesting. Looks at the card row. Maybe he's looking for knights. I mean, both of them obviously are still in. Maybe he's just looking at leaders and wonders.
Yeah.
And by the way, we do have Pierre, guys. There is Pierre. That is a good sign. Someone said I should have asked them about Pierre if they plan to use him. So now it's Djinges' turn. I guess he has urban growth. He definitely will go for that second lab.
Yep.
Don't think you play raiders, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. Not in this situation.
Yeah. We're pretty strong by PhiTrigger going for pyramids second or third turn, however you want to count that. With yeah, pretty early pyramids, pretty strong. And okay, Djinges plays raiders. Wants those resources. Still can't go for the library this turn, but can build that lab. And looks like he thinks about Joan of Arc.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I guess you play Raiders thinking you're going to get stronger, and it helps neutralize Boudica a little bit
Yeah.
pretty soon.
Yeah, definitely. If you looks like he's not too happy with that decision. Definitely could work. Guess he's taking another look if there's any other leader he wants. I mean, they're not the best. There's no Zizka or something that you would miss out with this. So he goes for Joan of Arc. Pretty interesting. And then Barbarians as well. That is probably not that great with Joan of Arc, right?
Yeah. It's riskier, at least.
Yeah. Now does PhiTrigger, does Blue want to play something? Would you play politics against someone who just picked up Joan of Arc, or would you maybe rather not do that?
I mean, if you had a good reason to do it, then maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. I think that if it was me, I would probably not play something in this situation.
Yeah. Interesting. He thinks about taking the signs. I definitely think he'd take the signs, right? I mean, I've talked with PhiTrigger before on one of the streams. We played together and talked a little bit. He really, really values iron super high. So yeah, definitely not surprised seeing that iron immediately picked up. And I think you need to increase population so you don't have corruption, right?
Yeah.
So you don't get that rich land together with the iron. But still, next turn he has 5 signs, so he can go for that iron, upgrade 2 of those, even without the rich land, so it seems pretty good. Yeah, but he's thinking about it. Greece population still can't use that frugality, but I guess he has time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's
looks
thinking.
yeah, he's definitely thinking. By the way, guys, let me know if Almec is too quiet or too loud or anything. If there's anything wrong, I'm really happy for any criticism. But I think for now it looks pretty nice.
And so he went with that.
Yeah, he went with that. And let's see how Djinges will react on that. Yes, Joan of Arc in hand, don't think he wants to go for that yet. Yeah, definitely finish that library. Don't think you really want to play the barbarians with a library and Joan of Arc against someone who has pyramids. So that would basically mean you are always the one with more culture, right? With barbarians punishing you. So I take breakthrough.
Did PhiTrigger have to take swordsman last turn or risk losing it? Would it have gotten? Would the first one have been in the discard spot? I don't recall.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I personally don't value swordsman too high, but I think a lot of people disagree with that to a degree, and they value swordsman highly. Let's see if Djinges will take him for 2, but I don't think he will. Seems like he's thinking similarly. Yeah, goes for a lot of yellow cards, breakthrough and rich land, and that irrigation. And puts monarchy on 2. Don't know if he calculated that or if that's just a nice side effect. But yeah, monarchy on 2. So with especially with the library and maybe even revolution with Hammurabi, getting that monarchy would be pretty awesome. So that will be interesting if Djinges can grab that next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like
That would be.
yeah, looks like blue wants to go for that engineering genius. Doesn't want to go for that iron this turn. Thinks about. Okay, looks like he likes that Forbidden City.
Yeah. This may be an interesting pick. You already have pyramids.
Yeah, you get a lot of selections. You have the engineering genius to get that cheaper. I don't know if delaying iron is really what you want to go for though. I mean, you picked it up. Yeah, you can still wait with that. Interesting that he goes for that. I would have thought he would go for that iron. But he decides to take a wonder instead. And there is Universals actually. Oh, and Djinges just played new deposits, right? Against someone who has iron in hand already. That is also a pretty interesting decision.
Yeah.
Let's see if he likes Taj Mahal, if he wants to go for Joan of Arc and grab the Taj Mahal. Looks like he goes for Joan of Arc.
Yep.
And the Taj Mahal. And he doesn't want to go for the monarchy. I mean, he has 8 signs. If you pick that up, don't you want to go for that this turn?
He's thinking about it.
Yeah, looks like... why doesn't he want to go for that? Interesting. Maybe he just doesn't see it, but that doesn't seem right.
And what is it that you were... Oh, like just researching monarchy this turn.
Yeah, exactly. He had 8 science, he could have gone for that. He has 2 breakthroughs, he could have even used one. I don't know why you picked that up and don't go for it immediately.
Could you... In that situation, can you take monarchy, then elect Joan with a military action, then revolt into it?
I don't know for sure, but I think you could. Okay, PhiTrigger goes for that iron upgrade now.
Is the iron now?
And then next turn you can finish the Forbidden City, probably. Yeah, definitely think so.
Mm-hmm.
Looks at the card row again. Still 2 knights to come out. He does have the phalanx, so will be interesting if he grabs those knights this turn. Looks like he wants drama. Guess we really could use the cheat again, or the cheat sheet again, where we see
Yes, we
all
could.
the
Anyone
leaders.
screenshot that for us this time?
Yeah, I think Hannes did that last time or something. You guys, next time, please screenshot the leaders and wonders for us. That would be very helpful. Oh, he wants to go. Interesting. He goes for finishing the Forbidden City this turn instead.
And still no iron.
Still no iron. Yeah, really delaying that. I mean, with Forbidden City, drama can definitely work, so maybe that's his thinking behind that. Oh, that was Stasi last time. Okay. Maybe you can do that again this time. But we see here right now there is Bach. So maybe that's why he wants to pick up that drama. Interesting that he wants to go for Michelangelo, even though he doesn't have any happy faces to work with that.
Yeah, it is strange.
Guess you can use him for some extra resources when picking the next one up. And maybe he even gets Universitas Carolina next turn with that. That could be very strong. Okay, decides to go for iron instead. If he stays with that. And still wants Michelangelo.
What would be the... I guess you'd finish Forbidden City this turn. I mean, it's really just the civil action. Really all you're getting right now, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I definitely think finishing upgrading iron has more benefits this turn. He still wants that drama instead of building one step of the Forbidden City.
Yeah. Is Marlena in the game? Anybody know?
Yeah, that would be nice to know. So Djinges can look at the top card. I think that's development of civil life, right? And he plans border conflict. Yeah, development of civil life. And then he can use that to develop monarchy, maybe? Or what does he want to go for with that?
Interesting.
What did he do? Did he went for religion?
Build a second religion.
Ah, interesting. With Joan of Arc. He needs strength because he put in border conflict just now.
Mm-hmm.
Does he also want those knights? Probably, right? Yeah, definitely pick up those knights. He doesn't have a tactic yet, but knights can never hurt really. And takes everything back again and raises population instead. Interesting. What does that mean? Guess he can increase population one more time this turn. Or he wants to go for knights. This turn even, not the irrigation. And then even more yellow cards. So he really takes a lot of yellow cards. And he takes everything back. So we see a lot of different moves that you can make. Test everything out. Do you do that personally? Try everything, or do you like to think about it without testing it? But I think that's the great part about...
I mean, exactly. That's the great part about the game, is you can test everything. I think, yeah, usually I'll try some things, and then depending on how important the turn is, I'll set it down and just let it simmer in the back of my mind for a few minutes, and then come back. That usually helps me.
Okay, he draws vast territory, so maybe he will play that with 2 colonization cards. And let's see what PhiTrigger goes for with that development of civil life. Does he just develop the swordsman?
Yeah.
He also wants a temple? No. No, he develops drama instead.
Yeah.
Probably finishes Forbidden City this turn, right? Okay, goes for Swordsman instead. He's really lacking some military actions. Djinges has 4 of those, and PhiTrigger still at only 2. And he does elect Michelangelo. Does he always also take Universitas? Yeah, that will give him a lot of science in the long run. By the way, he's still sitting at that frugality, and he finds the last turn to use that.
There it goes.
Before losing it. Oh yeah, and remember guys, there is new deposits in the deck from Djinges. And he can go for iron next turn, maybe he wants to do that.
Yep, that would make sense.
Because like this, it's gonna be very good for blue. But he goes up to 5 strength, okay.
So he discarded the phalanx, but can still grab knights next turn.
Yeah, interesting that he discards that.
It's not often you see Mike sitting with 0 culture production.
Oh yeah, right.
That's fun.
Oh, and Djinges is gonna get another religion for free this time. 3 religions, going up to 5 culture production. That also means that he built 2 religion himself, which is also not something you see every game.
Yeah. So what Djinges said he wanted to do at the beginning of the match. He set out to build 3 religions this match.
Yeah, I guess the plan is for 5 religions. But doesn't work with Joan of Arc, sadly.
Yeah.
Hey Drawdown, welcome. Welcome. We're having a nice... If you didn't catch that yet, we're having a show match between Djinges and PhiTrigger. That is a very high level game, and we see why they are very high level. And okay, he draws that tactic, the Phalanx, with his last chance, so he does get a nice tactic for his knights. Djinges does. And now PhiTrigger can still pick up those knights if he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like... Oh, he can finish the Universitas this turn if he wants to. I mean, that's pretty good, getting more science production. Guess his problem might be that he doesn't get stronger than Djinges. Oh, wants to go for drama. I mean, he's in a tough spot with the culture production. I guess his plan was with drama to get ahead in culture early, but now Djinges with his 3 religions and 5 culture production is really taking the lead in that. Does he grab Great Wall as well? So he has 3 H1 wonders. I mean, maybe. And then Djinges grabbed the last one, so all the wonders from H1 would be in play. Bets would be cool. I think I can set that up next, during Djinges' next turn. Yeah, I can do that. If you guys want to bet a little bit. And then you'll just have to talk about Djinges' turn. And I'll have to set that up.
Best.
Yeah, awesome. So let's first talk about PhiTrigger's turn. He's really struggling a little bit. I mean,
interesting spot here.
Yeah. Do you have anything that stands out to you that you would definitely do? I mean, like this, he goes for some more military strength, so he goes up to 7. He doesn't have any idea what's in the deck, because Djinges really dominated that event stack. So he definitely wants to be stronger. But I mean, finishing Universitas this turn is also really, really awesome. So he goes for that, yeah. And then takes Frugality. and the drama. He's really going down in time. It's his first turn in H2 and he's down to 3 minutes of reserve. So really, really tricky turn.
Yeah, I mean he's in just an awkward spot. It's hard to know sort of what direction to go in.
Okay, he goes with that. Takes that Great Wall, so all the H1 wonders are in the match.
Yes.
Pretty interesting.
Keeping it interesting for us. 3 religions and all the H1 wonders. Alright, so green I think played Developed Territory, and then Raiders comes out and hits blue. Finally getting into the iron, I think before the new deposits has come out, right? So that's good. Upgrades the irrigation, takes patriotism, and cultural heritage. And no one gets alchemy, looks like. And then takes it back.
So bets are on the way. You guys can bet now.
Yeah. So yeah, Djinges has 2 territories in the deck and is getting cartography here potentially. Or iron. I guess that's the decision.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, I didn't see what was revealed on top. What was that?
Raiders, he put in developed territory and got raiders.
Ah, interesting. So yeah, I mean, new deposits still available, so I think that makes sense that he goes for iron, right? So there we get a nice look. New deposits, border conflict, and a territory, the vast territory. So yeah, a lot of pretty important cards.
It's also like a reasonable chance that blue will not play an event here.
Yeah, definitely.
So the risk either way is probably low.
So he will lose 2 food, goes for Gaudi. Interesting.
Gaudi, interesting.
In this position, going for Gaudi feels very risky.
Ooh. Can't wait to see this.
But at least he can get stronger. He's still not really drawing cards, so he's really still missing military actions. I don't really understand that Gaudi pick though. That stands out to me really quite a lot.
It's about the least number of urban buildings you can have.
Yeah. I mean, he has drama and journalism in hand, so he plans to go for those, but yeah, it's still really interesting. So no cards drawn for him. Djinges still has full control over the events deck and gets strategy for 2. I definitely think he will go for that. He is struggling a little bit with science production.
Yeah.
But strategy is so strong. Okay, he wants to go for cartography instead. And he can build a warrior and play the tactic, right? So he will go up quite a lot in strength. So he should be guaranteed to win that border conflict next turn. And then after that it's even more good stuff coming for him. Yeah, okay, he looks at the signs. 14 signs for blue, so he doesn't want to give him strategy. That would be an easy fix for blue's military. Also, we have nationalism just sitting there. But yeah, he really wants to go for that cartography. Even has autonomous territory in the deck. Did anybody catch if there is a Suez Canal in the match? I mean, we see 3 of the wonders already from H2. But I guess the last one could be Suez Canal. Is in the deck. Ah, thanks Trippy.
Yeah, and Djinges is still sitting on that Taj Mahal.
Yeah, that can really happen when you pick that up for free. I mean, it doesn't cost anything, so it doesn't hurt just sitting there. But you really want to finish that at some point. Interesting. Thinks about... Okay, keeps Ravages of Time. And draws Hussars. He could definitely work with that. Maybe, yep. So let's see what PhiTrigger can do.
see what we do with Gaudi here.
Oh yeah, he looks like he wants to go for Gaudi this turn. I guess he has a lot of resources. Partly wants to spend those on the Great Wall. I mean, that would be pretty strong if he finishes Great Wall. Gives him 3 strength. Yeah, so he does that. So no action with Gaudi yet. And Engineering Genius. So next turn he could grab Statue of Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
Or doesn't he? Looks like maybe he doesn't want to finish that Great Wall.
I mean, pretty soon here you start to feel the culture pressure, right? I mean, he's down by 30 something, right?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, isn't too much, but you know, you have to start at least slowing down how much that gap increases. Like, I don't know. Do you start to worry about it at this point?
Yeah, this is the interesting part where you have to start at least thinking about it. Like deciding, can you still catch up? What is your game plan? How does that evolve for the coming turns, I guess? And looks like he wants to try to catch up with Gaudi and journalism and drama. I mean, he has picked Gaudi already, so it doesn't really have a chance to go another route.
Mm-hmm.
And does he grab Kremlin? He does grab Kremlin as well, so he's really loading up on all of those wonders. And I mean, those wonders also produce quite a lot of culture, so that is also a great way to use that. Doesn't get Engineering Genius, and Djinges will get that for his Taj Mahal.
So there's 3 wonders to choose from there. Kremlin, Eiffel Tower, or I guess the statue the next turn. So what do you think of the Kremlin pick?
I mean, I like it. He doesn't get hurt by the unhappy phase because he has Forbidden City and the Great Wall. Really needs military actions, so if he doesn't find Conmon, then he really needs that. And okay, let's look what Djinges does. He revealed the border conflict, right? So gets extra resources, can upgrade his last mine for the upcoming new deposits. He has all of the information. That is pretty crazy. I think PhiTrigger hasn't played politics yet at all.
I think not. What about navigation? You leave that out there?
Yeah, I think Djinges was thinking about that as well, but I guess PhiTrigger does have a lot of science, so he could go for that.
And he needs the military a little bit.
Looks like he does leave that open. I mean, the great part about knowing all the events that are coming, there's nothing left where you need strength for the next 4 cards that are in, so Djinges has that information, so you can easily let the strength part slip a little bit.
There's the Suez Canal shows up.
Yeah. I mean, you can finish Taj Mahal next turn and maybe still grab that.
Yeah.
But I mean, he played Autonomous Territory already, right?
Yep, he did.
Doesn't have any colonies in hand. So, okay, tries to grab away the navigation.
Yeah, I think I like that.
Yeah, it would really hurt you if you lose those colonies that you played yourself. I mean, PhiTrigger also doesn't have a lot of military actions, so he doesn't draw a lot, and he doesn't. He can't keep all of those colonization cards.
Yeah.
I mean, we know everything, so we can take a look and see that PhiTrigger does have 2 colonization cards in hand. And if you...
Djinges got 2 more territories too.
2 more territories are crazy.
So Suez is looking good again.
Yep. Okay, PhiTrigger deletes one of his... Why did he delete that? No, he did. Oh, he had to delete something from the event, right? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
from the border conflict.
I mean, luckily he didn't have much.
Yeah,
Luckily, but
and can grab breakthrough. I mean, you start a lot of culture production. Sadly, you do have corruption. I think that he doesn't like that, so he will skip on the cannons and the breakthrough. That seems interesting. Not getting cannons with the Great Wall.
yeah,
It's gonna be really
only has
hard.
infantry.
Yeah, it's gonna be very hard to transition into anything. Okay, fast turn for him. I guess next turn he still can't finish that Kremlin. Needs more resources for that, but the new deposits could definitely help with that. And looks like Djinges could finish Taj Mahal this turn and grab the Suez Canal if he wants to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with the inhabited territory, Suez Canal is still looking pretty nice. Can even play another territory in the deck now, so the next deck will be full of territories that are going to be especially good for you if you grab that Suez Canal. And those three religion, man, really working.
Yeah. So which of these leaders is he gonna want? He's not set up well for Darwin.
No, not really. I guess.
Worst case.
Yeah, I guess Catherine is looking pretty good. Get even more culture production. Keep those military actions because he's without Joan of Arc. He's only at 3, and that can get limiting at some point. So Catherine definitely looks strong. If he can keep his military lead, which he will definitely lose once Joan of Arc's gone. So he's thinking about playing another territory. Yeah, thinks like he's evaluating how likely it is for him to win those territories. Oh, there are the new deposits. Okay, finishes that Taj Mahal and does that without the engineering genius. This means he won't have corruption because, I guess, of the extra blue cube from the Taj Mahal. So that is coming in handy.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like that. Going for that Suez Canal, you still have inhabited territory. You're gonna get some of these 4 colonies in the deck.
Right.
That is pretty unlikely that you don't get those. And the next turn you can finish. Yeah?
Yeah. Are there any territories in play yet? Any colonies in play?
I don't think so, right?
I don't think so.
This the first time the deck is gonna be through, and yeah, first territory coming up. I guess Djinges really hopes that he can still use those colonization cards that he's kept for such a long time.
Yeah.
And he doesn't draw any new ones, so that can definitely hurt a little bit. And if blue doesn't play anything this coming turn, then he might lose those colonization cards, and we can see he doesn't want to play politics. Goes for a religion. I mean, goes up to 8 culture production. That is quite strong. But I mean, why are you gonna build a religion if you can also build a drama?
Right.
Doesn't really make sense, right? And yeah, this is a crazy game. Really, I expected a lot of military, but we're having a very peaceful game. I mean, this doesn't look bad, but losing one civil action always feels a little bit awkward. Yeah, this seems better. This also ends the age.
Mm-hmm.
So Djinges will lose his Joan of Arc.
Is there a reason to build the religion there?
I don't think so,
it's the same
right?
price. Yeah.
There shouldn't really be a reason.
Huh.
Yeah, no, doesn't really make sense to go over that religion over the drama. And the vast territory comes up. I guess we can
Here we
use
go.
the 50-50 screen for that, see what they are bidding.
Let's see.
And PhiTrigger wins that. Has to send away an army though. So I don't know if Djinges is really happy with that.
No.
But he gets his own inhabited territory now, and a lot of colonies coming up still, so... I mean, at least he's happy that PhiTrigger didn't get that for just like one warrior or something. He had to pay quite a lot for that. So, okay, looks like he wants to go for Bach here, and Opera, that is really strong. Turning those religions into the Opera looks really promising. There's a lot of resource production now. I guess only 6 at the moment with the Suez Canal, but that should probably be more at some point with those territories coming up.
Yeah, and PhiTrigger's still holding one card. Colonization card. So it will be interesting.
Yeah. So could he... Why did he send away two swordsmen? Could he not just send away the cards, or didn't he want to do that?
Well, he got 3 for the swordsman and only would have gotten 2 for the card.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it fulfilled the army. I mean, you would guess 2. You'd have to guess that there's more in the deck.
Yeah.
Instead what Djinges is.
I mean, there were 4 colonies in the deck, right? He played Historic into the deck. So yeah, that navigation, or that cartography even, probably at some point that should really set in and give Djinges the edge on those colony bets.
Yeah, I mean, Djinges probably saw Bach from the beginning, right?
Yeah. And that's a really good
Those
combo,
3
right? Going for 3 religions with Joan of Arc and then transitioning into Bach and putting those into Opera. I mean,
And then Bach is literally the last H2 card that comes out.
yeah. Through the Ages really likes to do that. Offer you a nice plan and then completely destroys it by putting that one important card on last position. That is a very, very Through the Ages moment. But yeah, PhiTrigger has a lot of civil actions with those... I mean, that's crazy amount of civil actions with Pyramids, Forbidden City, and the Kremlin, and the Konmon. That's 9 civil actions, right? That is quite a lot with all of those yellow cards that he has in hand. So really making use of those civil actions. Also, that vast territory really helping him with that food production. Yep. So not looking bad. And he looks pretty confident that he doesn't have to increase military or something. Stays at 3, so that is not something you see often. At the beginning of H3, PhiTrigger has 3 military strength.
Yep.
And there's developed territory. We can switch again to the screen for both players and see that Djinges wins that. They're bidding a little bit too fast for that overlay to really work.
They are, yeah.
But he wins that pretty convincingly. Why doesn't he pick Bach?
Too late?
I mean, no. I mean, Bach will give him so much culture production, and you can.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely. Yeah. Now I think he does it. Yeah. Whew, that was close. I guess he really wants tanks because he has hussars in hand.
Mm-hmm.
And like this, he's not gonna get that. I mean, we are pretty peaceful now, but it can happen pretty fast that those wars come out. If you don't have the necessary tax, it's pretty hard to respond to those wars. Interesting, he goes for an Opera without Bach, picks up Bach so he can grab those tanks. I think I really like those tanks. It's the only tactic he has, and it's pretty nice. With tanks, the Hussars are very strong tactic. Don't need any other technology that you have to research. And you're not gonna get that from an H3 government. from an H3 tactic, where you just need those tanks. So I think that is a good move. He still has the culture lead, so he doesn't need to elect Bach this turn.
Oh. You got the tactic, but Rockets is going away.
Yep. And there's the next territory. I guess PhiTrigger wins this one.
Is it 0-3?
0-3. Yeah, guys, you don't see this every game. Between with these, yeah, usually high-level players play a lot with wars, but not this game. This game is all about culture production. Djinges started that with his early religions, and now PhiTrigger with Gaudi. I mean, we question it, but he's doing a lot of work, going up to 13 culture production.
There is.
I guess it's gonna be hard once Djinges goes for Bach and upgrades another religion. It's gonna be pretty hard to keep that culture lead up, or that culture production lead up. I guess Djinges still has more culture, right?
Yeah, about 20 up, I think.
Yeah. I mean, that colony definitely helped PhiTrigger to catch up, but yeah, and PhiTrigger getting those rockets. He's also not really looking good to draw any, or to be prepared for any wars, so that is always the danger, where you have to be very careful. If you are not in position to respond, then you're gonna have a bad time.
Yep.
So let's see if Djinges wants to play an impact. Hopefully he looks at the impacts before playing them. Harmony. Okay, plays that, and the wealthy territory. Did PhiTrigger draw any colonization cards?
I don't
Nope.
think
So Djinges get that for 2. A lot of resources from that. So he goes for Bach. And just builds another... Okay, builds 2 more operas.
Wow.
This is crazy. This is really crazy. Are they totally not afraid of any wars?
Yeah.
I guess so. He really wants those religions. He doesn't want to give those up. They've carried him
Nope.
to this point, and he really wants to keep them. Going up to 21 culture production.
Whew.
Whew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, PhiTrigger just is not in a position to get the military up right now.
Yeah. I guess Djinges looked at that. You can calculate how that will look. And sadly, Djinges has drawn that impact of wonders, so I don't think he's going to play that against PhiTrigger's army of wonders. And another territory, of course, and PhiTrigger can only bid 2, and Djinges, I guess he did draw another... Oh no, he has 2 colonizations, so he gets that for just a warrior, the autonomous territory, the strongest territory in the deck, or in the whole game, and Djinges gets that for a warrior. I mean, okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. So PhiTrigger wants more civil actions, of course, and that's what you need. If you only have 9, you want to go up to 11. He has 11 civil actions now. He really should... I don't think there is Mandela in the game, but he should pick up Mandela and democracy and then go to the maximum civil action.
Very close.
So he goes for another... Wants to go for... I mean, wonders are going to be really important in this game. They have a very high culture production, and those wonders can mean those last very important culture points that you need to win the game and close it out. So taking that internet often is not that strong, but in this position, with how blue is playing, that is going to be very strong. Also there's Marlene. I don't know if Marlene is even that good this game, because military doesn't seem to matter at all. So Djinges could still pick her up for the culture faction, but then Bach still gives him more in that. There was Pierre, right? We did have Pierre, I think.
There was Pierre, yes.
So that could just be... I mean, you can just use Pierre for one-time 8 culture from the Olympic Games. I think that's pretty wasted for such an amazing leader, but it is possible to just do that.
Yep.
So let's see what Djinges wants to do.
Yeah, so now Bach's giving 5 culture, right?
Yeah. It is quite a lot. And Djinges doesn't have any units and wants to go for multimedia as well, because yep, I mean, if nobody's playing military, then you're stuck in this culture arms race.
Right.
Sadly, we won't see another opera because democracy and fundamentalism will be gone. It'll be very interesting. One of these guys can pull a sneaky and still declare war. But I guess they are playing carefully enough that that won't happen out of the blue. I mean, Djinges can't go for 2 tanks or anything, so yeah, it will be very interesting if someone decides to go for wars.
Yeah.
Okay, he goes for that multimedia, even more culture production. And then let's see what PhiTrigger will do.
Yeah, Djinges can get it up to 6 strength, right?
Yeah. That is... apparently that's enough in this type of game. That is enough. It's interesting that they play it like this, pulling those cards and then deciding where to put them. And he wants to go for Marlene. Okay. But not quite yet, right? Gaudi still gives more.
Yeah.
But yeah, that has to be a pretty bad feeling. You're putting everything into culture production and your opponent always a step ahead. He has the culture lead and he's still at more culture production than you. And that internet won't change that by that much. Because, I mean, yeah, wonders can give a lot of culture, but if you're producing 24 culture a turn, then those wonders don't matter that much. Also, I think PhiTrigger put in the impact of government, so that is going to be pretty crazy with all of those civil actions.
Oh, did he? I didn't see that. I saw he put impact of tech into.
Yeah, I think tech and government, and Djinges put in harmony, right? And one more, probably. Does he want a revolutionary idea? I mean, for the bit of technology, those revolutionary ideas are going to be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, just take the other one, so Djinges can't take that. Seems like a good idea. Spend those civil actions. Or go for the patriotism. I mean, he does have the war in hand.
Yeah, what can you do with it, though?
I mean, he doesn't have that many resources. He has patriotism and reserves in hand. He doesn't have any tactic, though. Don't think he can really go for that modern army. Doesn't he? No, he doesn't. He can't get any cavalry. Those are gone.
Oh, through the ages. Gives him more wars now.
Now, there is Nelson Mandela, so sadly Blue didn't pick him up. Balance doesn't look that great, Wonders definitely not, and Progress also not, so looks like Djinges doesn't have any good impacts.
I think Blue still can get Mandela, though.
Did he pick up
he didn't take
Marlene? Oh no, he didn't. Right. He can still do that and go for communism, so we would see 14, no, 13 selection.
Interesting. So one tank.
Oh, just one tank, go up to 11. Yeah, I mean, maybe threatening a little bit. Maybe also grab those air forces. I guess the biggest problem is military actions. I mean, if you threaten the war with the air forces, you could do that.
Interesting. So PhiTrigger took the 1 CA revolutionary idea. I thought he had taken the 2, but it's still there.
Yeah. Okay, looks like Djinges wants to go for those computers. I think I would pick up Air Forces.
He took patriotism. Okay.
Just to be safe.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he had switched to that. Yeah, so Gandhi is interesting maybe for blue here now.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, with Djinges not picking up the Air Force, I don't think he really has to be afraid. Okay, very late iron upgrade, but if you don't have anything else to do with that civil action, maybe that's a good idea. Does he keep that war at all? Yep. Discards the aggression, and yeah, Imbit of Wonders is going to be very bad. I guess he's hoping to draw Imbit of Colonies. But another war, so through the ages, doesn't like this peaceful kind of game.
No, it's had enough of that.
Yeah, gives them all the wars. Okay, does he play Imbit of Happiness now? That doesn't seem that great against Marlene. I mean, PhiTrigger has a lot of impacts in there. Now he has played 4 and Djinges just that 1. That is not going to change a lot. 4 culture for each, because they don't have military, so the harmony lagging in the military. And now, yeah, PhiTrigger has 4 impacts in there. That is pretty strong. Interesting, if he picks up military build-up to be completely safe for next turn. Doesn't go for a leader yet. I mean, next turn will be his last chance. He can't go for Pierre because Pierre's hiding in the back. Guess that probably was his plan, go for Pierre. But he won't be able to use his Olympic Games at all. And picks up air forces or military build-up. So there we see it. Technology, agriculture, government, and happiness. Government should be really strong for him.
Mm-hmm.
Picks up those air forces. I mean, he doesn't really have a tactic that he could copy, but
Djinges doesn't know that.
yeah, exactly. And maybe he does draw one. He has patriotisms and reserves in hand, so I think he should be safe. And yeah, PhiTrigger can now get rid of H2 cards. All the wars, doesn't really matter. H will be over anyway, so no chance to go for wars for PhiTrigger. And now he loses Gaudi. But yeah, Djinges doesn't have a good impact. He has a lot of resources, so I still wonder if he should go for a war. He has reserves and patriotism, so maybe with a war you could force him to not finish that wonder. So yeah, looks like Djinges is counting to see if he can force that war and force PhiTrigger not to be able to finish that wonder. I mean, he can just, he needs all his military actions, like he spends 3 on the war and then just can build 1 air force, but that really should be enough. With Marlene, that's a pretty efficient military. Just 1 tank and 1 air force. And 21, that seems to be enough for this game. Oh, and he deletes the religion. That doesn't seem right.
That's a bad sign.
Yeah, that really carried him through the game, and now he deletes it on his second to last turn.
Yeah, and PhiTrigger did not grab military buildup.
Yeah, I really think he should.
What that's going to be like here.
Or Gandhi at least, or military theory, something at least.
Yeah.
I mean, all the 3 cards under the red X at the moment, all those would help in what is coming next.
Yep.
So yeah, that's... And that's... If you're in this game and nothing military-wise happens, then you feel like, okay, I don't have to concern myself with that, but then it turns out you do. Also thanks Stella for following. Hope you enjoy the stream, Stella. And now Djinges has... can he go for Empire State Building next turn? No, he doesn't. Missing a little bit of resources. And looks like he's thinking about not going for that war. I like that war play, denying that internet from blue.
Yeah, and
yeah, you go for that war, I think, and then grab satellites so blue doesn't get any more strength from that. Seems the right move for me.
yeah.
Hey Stella, it looks pretty good for Djinges, I would say. I would say at this point he should definitely win the first game, right? I don't see a way for
So someone's saying that PhiTrigger will win the war. Does he? You think so?
I mean, he might, and Djinges just did that to deny the internet, so it still might be the right move. He has a big lead, Djinges, 170 against 130. So I guess we can see what blue will do. And
it's
blue,
pretty close.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. I mean, between what's the wonder gives him 35 or so,
yeah.
and he'll lose like 40 in the war. Pretty close.
Can he actually win that war? He doesn't have a tactic, right? Or can he copy something? I don't think he can copy anything, right? I mean, he has a lot of resources with those reserves. So he has to delete a lot of stuff to be able to win that war. And it wasn't a big deal for Djinges, so I think that still was a right move. So pretty interesting that I guess we will see what he can do. But like this, he looks like he can go for 2 more swordsmen. That is 5 strength, so he will win that war. If that's the question is if that's worth it. Does he want to go for Pierre? I mean, you don't get the Olympic Games off with Pierre. He does have knowledge of all the impacts. That's definitely helpful. So, do you want to do some math and see what is better, the internet or defending against the war? Or are we gonna let the other guys do that and see? I guess PhiTrigger will count everything, and I trust him to find the correct move here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this really puts blue in a pretty rough position.
So with that, he can finish the wonder still.
Oh, can he?
That seems pretty good. Oh no, he's 1 short. Yeah, he's 1 short.
Oh yeah, looks like he's really struggling to find something.
Yeah, I think it's better to lose the war a little bit and finish the wonder still. Like minimize the war as much as you can and build the wonder.
Yeah, how much does he need for the wonder? I mean, he's at 9 now. I guess the biggest problem is engineering genius doesn't really work that well with internet. The biggest step is 4, right? So he still needs 8 resources. So like this.
He's 10, I think.
Oh, 10. Oh yeah, 10. It costs 14. So he needs 10. That's pretty hard to find something good. I mean, like this, he will win the war, so he will steal 6 culture. But I mean,
Yeah, I
6
think if he
culture.
can-
Yeah.
Well, still 6 is 12. It's about the same if he loses the war by 10 and gets 35 points on the wonder. That's worse. Yeah.
Yeah, looks like he thinks it's better not to finish the wonder and defend against the war. Can go for Sid Meier, but yeah, I mean stealing like what is it now? 8 culture from someone who's producing 21. That's not the biggest swing. Sometimes in certain games it can be enough, but not in this game.
Did he put impact of culture in? He didn't, did he?
No, I don't think so. We had
I
technology,
think I misread
happiness.
colonies as culture last time.
Yeah. Yes, said, luckily for Blue, he has colonies in hand himself, so he knows that Djinges doesn't get that. Okay, thinks about playing Image of Strength first. I don't think you do that, right? I mean, Djinges could easily just go for satellites and then he would be... No, he wouldn't be stronger, but...
Tied, but yeah, just a unit. It's pretty easy to get stronger.
And maybe if you think that you are not able to win otherwise, it would be good to play that Image of Strength. And maybe just hope that Djinges doesn't see that and maybe it gives you a small chance to win. Yeah, but it seems like he doesn't want to do that. So he steals culture, so 162 to 162. Pretty close game here. But the biggest problem is still Djinges has 1 more production phase in front of him. That's gonna be 21 more culture at the moment. So yeah, he's pretty much ahead in that. And now he can play that impact of balance because PhiTrigger deleted all of his mines. Why doesn't he play that?
He's just testing the turnout first.
You think so? Okay. You have trust in Djinges. I have that happened often enough to myself, so that I skip politics because I didn't think about it even. So I'm just
or I test the turnout and then forget to go back.
Yeah, then it looks so good that you go from the test to the end turn and then it's too late. And looks like he does want to play the Impact of Balance. Interesting. So let's see. The impacts finally. Technology is pretty good for Blue.
Alright, he made 8 of the 24 back.
Happiness is very good for Djinges, but the same for Blue. Interesting. Agriculture, 2 more.
Where's the government?
Government is gonna be a lot.
Oh, he's down by 3?
That's gonna be close. That's really close. What a close game, guys. Awesome first game. Man, 3 more culture for Djinges. So he barely wins.
Man,
so well done. Yeah, the war in the end. Pretty interesting. And do you see...
Now we'll never know. If he had played Impact of Strength, would Djinges have... Would he have tried to cover that?
Yeah, interesting thought. Very interesting first game. I think we're gonna give the players a small break and ourselves as well, and then we're gonna be right back. Does that sound good to you?
Yes, that sounds perfect for me.
Okay, so we will be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna have maybe 2 more awesome games. They're gonna do a best of 3. So yeah, that's don't go anywhere. This is only gonna get better. So awesome first game, and the next ones probably will be insane as well.
That's great. Okay, let's see you in a second.
And I'm back from the break. Let's just wait for the players to return. And of course for Almrek. I think someone asked if there are any other Poodageous streamers. There is Almrek, who's with me here today, so definitely check him out on twitch.tv/playtta. And then there's some smaller ones who sometimes stream. There is Waste, who streams on YouTube, I think. And I found some someone else who played that once or twice, but not a lot of streamers who play Through the Ages regularly. I think Josh played that on stream, but only once or twice. Josh the Funk Dog, who, yeah, we played against him on this one stream. I think he streams that sometimes. Yeah, play TTA. Maybe I can link that. Okay. Yeah, and Almag is back. So people are asking, Play TTA is your Twitch channel, right?
Correct. Yes.
Awesome. So yeah, we're back live, if you're wondering. And I guess when the players are ready, we can get into the next game. That should be very, very cool. Djinges would be ready. Would you be ready? And would PhiTrigger be ready? Sounds like a no, but yeah, we can wait a little bit.
Let me just check.
Oh, and also we had some bets, right? I have to check the bets and see who won it. So most of the 4 bets on Djinges and 3 bets on PhiTrigger, and Djinges was the winner, so congratulations to those guys who bet on Djinges. Well done. And the other guys, you're gonna have another chance to bet on Djinges. Oh, and Play TTA hosting us, so you guys can see. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, Play TTA is his channel.
So you can keep watching it here, though. You're already here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and PhiTrigger is ready when we are.
Okay, telling Djinges that. I hope everything is set up still. I don't see a reason why it shouldn't be. So, perfect. I wanted to get rid of these. They were in the game already. And who has the first turn? Looks like Djinges does. And he picked Roman roads. And PhiTrigger picked... I'm confused. So Djinges picked up Engineering Genius and PhiTrigger picked up Roman roads, and now Djinges picks Urban Growth and that the Colosseum rather. Looks like he doesn't want Boudica, even though he's in first place. Doesn't want that.
He had his eye on someone else down there.
Sorry, what did you say?
Oh, I was just saying, it looked like Djinges was looking down the row for a different meter there.
Oh yeah. So PhiTrigger with that early iron, he told me that he really, really likes that early iron. He had that last turn, or last game, but he didn't really go for that. That early at least. And Djinges picks up Sun Tzu. Maybe could get a look at all the wonders and leaders. That would be pretty nice. Doesn't seem like... Maybe we missed the beginning. They started before we were ready, but no problem. Guess we're gonna have a look at all the leaders and wonders at some point. Or it's a reveal. We might just get those information when we are ready. And 3 colonization cards. Pretty nice. And did PhiTrigger not pick up an HA leader? And does he go for Homer now? Nope, he likes Swordsman. And wants to go... Oh, he does go for Homer. I mean, he's once his one-time use is probably his strongest aspect.
Yeah.
So not really a problem to pick him up late. Don't have to elect him this turn if you don't want to. But it looks like he's thinking about grabbing Swordsman or not doing that. But yeah,
Yeah, he
decides...
grabbed that swordsman last time too, I think, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's a mean spot for the Swordsman to be, and with Homer you probably would like Swordsman. It looks like, yeah, he's not gonna go for that. But it still looks like he's thinking a little bit. Maybe he wants a free population or something. Didn't play politics, so maybe he's thinking about doing that. I mean, last game, a lot of it came down to Djinges starting with that early culture production with the 3 religions and all of that. And having that event stack control that really helped him, especially with Joan of Arc.
Oh, speaking of Joan of Arc, did someone have we seen who's in the game yet?
Nope, sadly not. Maybe they looked at all the leaders and wonders, but we weren't there for that. And did Djinges just play reds? I mean, it was the only thing he could play, so maybe that's okay. Oh, and does he want to go for Genghis Khan? Or irrigation? Or alchemy? He's testing out a lot of different stuff. I mean, you don't need to finish Colosseum yet to draw enough cards, basically, that you could justify not finishing that this turn. It looks like he wants to do that. Goes with his first instinct. And interesting, keeps those aggressions instead of the colonization cards. So it looks like he plans some early aggressions.
He's going to continue his military from the last game.
I mean, maybe they ended with 2 military strength the last game. I don't remember, but
Yeah,
it felt like it. So they start with the same amount of military as last game, the end. But yeah, I mean, with Genghis Khan and Swordsman, you can go for maybe 1 or 2 Swordsmen. And then you can really threaten the other guy. I mean, against Homer, he has extra resources, but not really a lot of military actions. And with that Phalanx, he probably can go for that. And looks like PhiTrigger wants to go for Columbus with that wealthy or strategic territory. Goes for Iron, yeah, seems good. Iron seems good, but Columbus with 2 mediocre territories, I'm not so sure about that. Leonardo's sitting on 2 for PhiTrigger, so it can't really go for Alchemy and Leonardo. So, I mean, there we had a small look. There was Joan of Arc and Nostradamus. And grabs reserves. Doesn't like irrigation or alchemy. It's a little bit weird, I think. But it's okay. And yeah, he will stay with Homer for quite a while because Leonardo will be gone and then the next leader's not even showing up yet. So that will take a lot of time. And Djinges, yeah, going with that Swordsman immediately. And Theocracy, so he really plans on using those aggressions where he has 3 of. Yeah, I mean, seems strong. Can play the tactic. Just saying, is he gonna get 2 aggressions? Do we really need the kidnap? I don't like
3.
I don't like kidnap at all, and you're not gonna need Oh. Forget about that. He just draw heavy cavalry, so maybe he does get off 3 aggressions. I mean, with an early Genghis Khan, Theocracy, and 3 aggressions in hand, we might look at very aggressive early game. That is going to be really, really hard for blue.
Wow.
Who does play
Thought
something
about
and
putting
development
Foray in.
and warfare, and he can't use that, and Genghis can even use that. That is another really bad sign for blue here, so I really like this opening for Djinges. Oh well, but getting that free warrior as well, saving that military action and the resources, especially if you wanted to go for that anyway, that is so brutal. And then maybe, yeah, he will use all of those aggressions. And then that Theocracy might also come in pretty handy with the extra strength and the military action. And yes, blue sees his trouble, wants to grab warfare, but decides against it and puts warfare on 2, or lets it stay on 2, so maybe he hopes to get that next turn. Yeah, this might really hurt in the coming turns. So that's gonna be interesting to see if blue can defend. He would really need some nice card draws. Maybe Nostradamus could really help him, getting the extra 3 strength to defend.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna see a lot of military from green now. And blue not even drawing any defend cards.
No tactic.
And no tactic, yeah.
There's Nostradamus and Swordsman showed up.
Ah, that might definitely help blue. Yeah, playing that knowledge of the ancients. I mean, theoretically you could play an aggression already, but I don't think you need to. And then even getting the upgrade on the tactic, so going up to 9, Theocracy going up to 10. So again, grabbing that Taj Mahal in this position, I think I like that. Getting another lab, rich land, and you could upgrade once, but you don't really need to, right? 10 strength should probably be enough.
Yeah, well, let's see. Blue can get to 7, maybe, with the help of Nostradamus.
Yeah.
Not quite enough actions for all that.
And Nostradamus stays on 2. And blue still has that Roman roads. That is going to be very hard for him to finish.
Yeah.
Could just finish it, not do anything else. He doesn't get Nostradamus. Maybe can get Joan of Arc next turn at least. And you should restart to install the latest Windows updates. PhiTrigger. Hopefully that doesn't come at a bad timing. Windows really likes to do that. But hopefully you can stay in the game. So yeah, maybe he hopes to get Joan of Arc next turn. That also gives a military action, which he's gonna need. But yeah, this turn is... I mean, he has to accept or expect an aggression next turn. No way that he can defend. What he doesn't expect maybe is 3 aggressions in a row. That could definitely hurt quite a bit.
Or even 4 now.
Oh, did he draw another one?
He did.
Oh. I mean, getting those H2 aggressions off can also really, really hurt. So if he draws one from H2 in one of his first turns. So looking really, really rough for PhiTrigger here. Let's see if he can come back. He has resource production, so that is the one thing he has a lot of advantage in.
I wonder if there's some thought about grabbing Himeji Castle next turn.
Oh yeah, that stays on 2, so maybe
But
Djinges can't afford that.
he may lose Engineering Genius. So,
To what?
kidnap.
Oh, to the kidnap, right. So let's see what aggression Djinges wants to go for here. He has a free pick. The plunder, yeah, the plunder really hurts, I think. I mean, blue has enough resources, so what are the other choices for green? Not often that you have 4 different aggressions and you're pretty sure that you can get any of those off. But yeah, that plunder getting 2 food, so you can increase population once. I guess this means he can't finish the Taj Mahal this turn. Okay, and goes for 1 step on the Taj Mahal. So slowly working on that. And it doesn't look like the cleanest turn, right? Grabbing printing press.
Yeah. I mean, it's not enough to defend, but PhiTrigger could finish the castle.
Yeah.
But it's just not enough.
Okay. Okay, it doesn't look too bad for blue yet. I mean, his biggest problem, of course, still being that he can't defend next turn and all of that. That military is gonna look worse and worse for him. But that turn wasn't too great for Djinges. And yeah, I mean, if you grab Magic Castle and finish that this turn, maybe you just grab that still. Or do you grab knights? You can build a knight, go up to 4, which is not the greatest. You don't have any tactics. But at Phalanx will be... Oh, Phalanx is available. So that hurts Djinges that he played
almost defend.
Oh yeah. So yeah, the reason... so pretty interesting that Djinges played that Phalanx first with Sun Tzu. Now allowed PhiTrigger to copy that. If he hadn't done that, PhiTrigger wouldn't have a tactic, and he still would be at 4 strength. Like this, Djinges can still get off another aggression. I mean, it's pretty safe, right?
Yeah, it's worth trying.
Yeah, I definitely think so. You have to get more out of this early military. And the kidnap to kidnap the engineering genius, so he can't finish the Magic Castle. I guess he doesn't have the Magic Castle, forget about that, but yeah, still getting that engineering genius. So Djinges can't finish Taj Mahal this turn. Goes for Court of Laws. Yeah, that's pretty good with the theocracy. So looking like
you get 3 culture when you play the kidnap, right?
Oh right,
Or if you play the card you stole.
And 3 culture from Djinges, or from Genghis Khan, so Djinges using Djinges. And 4 culture production now, so a lot of culture lead again for Djinges. So guys, I think we can do another betting after this turn. I think I know where most of the bets will go. This is a very one-sided early game. But you often see, or sometimes can see, games like these where the weaker player can come back, especially with higher resource production.
Yeah, how did the bets go last time?
And there were 4 bets for Djinges and 3 bets for PhiTrigger, so yeah, pretty even. And then, of course, Djinges was able to win it. So PhiTrigger can go up to 9 strength, so he can defend against the next aggression. So he's stabilized at least. And can grab that Universitas, so he still has a lot of resource production, so I don't think this is decided. I mean, he got 2 aggressions on himself, but the kidnap really isn't too bad. And then losing 3 resources, or maybe some food and resources, also is not that bad when you have that super early iron. I guess the problem is that Djinges is also getting a lot of culture with this.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to update the scoreboard. Thanks for reminding me. Where is that?
Okay. So what does he do with the rest of the turn? He takes irrigation now.
There we have it. Djinges is at 1. So we're gonna start the bets now. Shouldn't take too long. And restarting the bets. Same bets as last time, of course. Just another game.
Got 2 food came out. Development of agriculture.
Oh, nice. So Djinges has built the 3rd farm, so he gets extra from that, right?
Yes. Well, no, it wasn't a good harvest. It was just
Oh.
the age A one.
We're still on HA events because Djinges didn't want to play events, he wanted to play aggressions. So that makes sense.
We do have rats in there, but
Alright, he played
not
rats.
the biggest problem at this point.
Pretty late alchemy, but that might be okay. And then urban growth as well, so yeah, getting the science production up. Does anybody bet on PhiTrigger? No, no one has bet on PhiTrigger yet, guys. Then you can't win anything, you can only win those points that the others have bet. So if someone bets culture on PhiTrigger now, you guys can win a lot of culture for that.
I'll do it. How do I do it?
And you just type exclamation mark bet. Yeah.
Can I do as much as I want?
No, you only as much culture as you have. So
Oh yeah.
you can type exclamation mark culture and then you see how much you have. And as the ante goes for that bet on PhiTrigger. He takes one for the team. And Jakub also betting on Phi, so yeah. Some people still believing in PhiTrigger.
Yeah.
And we would hope so. If not, then it would be 1 game less than if he wins. Because it's a best of 3.
Oh, typed it wrong.
So PhiTrigger now, does he play? He has good harvest in hand. He knows that it's a colony on top, but Djinges just drew 3 colonization cards. His last draw was 3 colonization cards, and right after that, the colony comes. So as you guys can see in the double screen, PhiTrigger wants to bid 4, and Djinges will bid 6, looks like. Or he thinks again, does he want to bid all the cards? Yeah, he would, so he gets it for 5. Just says to send away 2 cards and a swordsman. So he gets that, and we can also check what Djinges draws from that: terrorism, freedom of movement, and crime wave. So not the most impactful. Terrorism definitely not something Djinges wants to play. So let's take a look at what Green wants to do with the rest of his turn. So he seems to really think about what he wants to do. He really needs some civil actions probably, so looking for a new government form. He does have a lot of resources. Could go for Suez Canal, but he only has historic territory with that. Goes to upgraded food instead. Yeah, seems strong. He also has put in good harvest, so getting an early early production, like resources and food, is pretty nice. Can make up those resources he lost to the aggressions. So that definitely seems like a good idea. And he does exactly that. And draws Napoleonic armies, so if he gets those riflemen, he can definitely go for that. Oh yeah, and we have rats in there, so let's see if they get revealed right now. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
3 food for Djinges and 6 food for PhiTrigger. That really, really hurts. And Drippy saw it coming. Oh, and Djinges deletes his lab to go for a knight. Or doesn't want to go for that. Can go for... Yeah, this seems better, I think. Frame breakthrough and the scientific method. And you're not the strongest, so you miss out on 3 culture from Djinges. From Genghis Khan. Djinges misses out on culture from Genghis Khan. He's not allowed to take Genghis Khan anymore. I should tell him that. That makes it too complicated. But I mean, it's only the Crusades in the deck, so he doesn't have to be stronger for that, really. It helps PhiTrigger to catch up the culture, but not something like border conflict or anything. So let's see what PhiTrigger wants to do. He sees it's Crusades on top, and he's the strongest, so he can definitely play something.
Yeah, which of those do you put in though?
Yeah, it's a hard choice. Prosperity definitely doesn't look good. I mean, if you go for something like Organized Religion this turn, it could work. You need happy faces at some point anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So you could put in Prosperity and Immigration. So if you go with Organized Religion, then both of those work really nicely.
Yep.
Probably wants that strategy, but with 4 civil actions, grabbing strategy for 3, I mean, that is still a good card. Just feels so bad to spend almost all of your civil actions on that, right?
Right. And he needs some civil action.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah, historic.
Pretty interesting that he has 3 events or 3 politics cards in hand, and all of them have to do with happy faces. So there's definitely some synergy and something to play around with that.
Immigration and prosperity sort of reward you for having happy faces.
Yeah.
Historic territory means you don't need as many happy.
So he has a lot of resources, so I think going with one of those wonders could also be really good.
Oh, interesting. What about taking that coal?
Coal? I don't know, you have 3 iron, the one thing you're not struggling with is resources, right?
Yeah, it's really just to keep it from Djinges, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's
I think you have a clean turn in taking wonders this turn, either Statue of Liberty, but that doesn't give you any culture as long as you don't have an H2 government form. The Railroad gives you even more resources and some strength, which you really need. So I definitely think picking one of those up. Could also go for Eiffel Tower. I mean, it really sucks for him that he just lost 6 food. So he has a lot of resources but nothing to spend that on because he doesn't have the population. So it looks like he wants to go for that.
Yeah, that you didn't want those cannons.
Oh yeah. They're still the first cannons, right?
Yeah.
So
first one. I guess maybe he needed both stages to get out of corruption there. Yeah, he could have finished the statue. Huh?
Oh yeah.
Or I think maybe, I don't know if he had enough resources.
So Djinges now, of course, taking that strategy and coal. Then the question is, does he also take cannons? I think he should. Oh, he wants to go for Darwin. Gives a lot of culture production. And coal. So next turn he could go for coal. Doesn't need that much strength at the moment. Yeah, coal definitely seems like a good move. Then there's also rich land which you could take. But okay, he doesn't want to And you could play Darwin first and then get strategy for cheaper, and there he has defensive army and fortifications, so a good grab on that cannon. Especially fortifications is looking really good, right?
Yep.
So really good draw by Djinges. So now PhiTrigger can get back his food from the good harvest. We gain 4 food actually, so he can get 2 more population out. And then probably finish the railroad. Of course, problem still same as last game, he's falling behind in culture. 12 against, take a look at the 50-50, 12 against 44. Yeah, that is quite a lot for Djinges, who's producing basically 8 with Genghis Khan. Oh, Genghis Khan.
That helps though.
Yeah. So 9 science production, and then next turn you can finish the railroad, so you will have a lot of food production, a lot of resource production, and a lot of science production. So maybe he's looking at something like a war, but then he's still missing military actions and I guess riflemen and cannons for the tactic. He has to discard both wars if he wants to keep the colonization card.
Yeah.
2 military actions never feels good.
No.
And does Djinges still need food? No, he has irrigation as well, right? So the selective breeding. Oh no, he doesn't have irrigation, so getting that selective breeding for 1 can definitely be good. There's good harvest, and Djinges playing that autonomous territory without a lot of colonization cards. That's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. Guess we see navigation there.
Oh yeah, we do.
We'll try to grab that.
Yeah, probably. Can go up to 19. I mean, at least PhiTrigger can defend with that railroad. And then breakthrough, revolutionary idea. And maybe develop knights. I mean, having knights is better than needing them. But his hand is too full to take everything. And he goes for selective breeding and breakthrough.
Starting to get a little late for those.
Yeah. And Djinges has drawn so many aggressions in this game. I mean, at least he's used a lot of them as well. And keeps all of those. So maybe we see another aggression by him. But I think PhiTrigger can easily defend that once he goes for that railroad. And economic progress, I mean, I don't think PhiTrigger has a good idea what's coming from the deck, but economic progress might definitely look strong for the railroad and the irrigation.
Yeah.
Justice system looks really good for blue now. Some more civil actions would really help him.
Yep. I think PhiTrigger had a lot of science last game too, huh?
Yeah.
Has a rifleman come out yet?
I don't think they came out yet, no. Don't think so. So again, very interesting. I think at this point blue has to go for some wars to be able to win it. With 0 culture production, you can't really catch up that much. Maybe he can try, but yeah, Djinges is really getting ahead in that by that much that, okay, maybe going for that Republic. That basically says I don't want to go for wars because you're missing military actions. But I mean, it's a good turn to get civil actions going, so I don't hate that. And Djinges still needs a leader. He could go for Napoleon. That could... mean, Djinges just has to defend his culture lead now, so maybe taking Napoleon, that makes it so there's no chance that PhiTrigger can go for war. Crime wave. Okay, place something.
You put economic progress in.
Yeah, put that in. It's definitely gonna help you at some point. You produce a lot. And then do everything else the same, basically. Finish that railroad. No corruption, seems like a good turn. Discard the tactic, really.
Ooh, he's thinking about it.
I mean, you don't need the
no.
defend card. Yeah, you don't need the defend card, and you're gonna discard that soon anyway.
So now he's holding the navigation, which might help him with that autonomous territory.
Oh yeah, and the historic territory too, right? Still in the deck.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, and Djinges wants to go for that aggression. I mean, it's enough military actions. So let's see if... Oh yeah, I wasn't fast enough. He can defend with that colonization card, but at least he discards that colonization card. That also has a lot of value.
Yeah.
Yes, Djinges struggling a little bit with his resource production. But once that knight... I mean, that knight is 4 strength from Napoleon. Or 2 from Napoleon and 2 from the knight, so... wants to delete that lab for that. So next turn you can go for coal upgrade with the efficient upgrade. And still really threatening blue with that 27 military. That is quite a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, so what do you... Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it makes it... I mean, Djinges has a good tactic already, but...
Yeah.
He also can grab Napoleonic army now, if PhiTrigger is able to actually get it out.
Oh yeah. Okay, so PhiTrigger maybe... Yeah, popularization of science is pretty good, and maybe the historic territory is gonna help you with the happy phases.
Yeah.
He has a lot of food and resource, but not the military actions he really needs. That hurts him in the way that he can't go for more military to be able to defend next turn. So if he spends anything on the territory, then he can't rebuild that because of lack of military actions. So that is a very tricky position for him.
It'd be nice to get navigation out first.
Yeah. And it's not going to be enough with 2 military cards, 2 military actions. Even navigation is not going to save you from the aggressions. So yeah, after stabilizing a little bit, now with, especially with Napoleon, Djinges really being able to apply even more pressure on him. I mean, it can maybe at some point copy that heavy cavalry, but for that you also need a lot of military actions. That's why I was afraid for him with the Republic. Because you need a lot of military actions. Okay, takes organized religion to be able to get out of his happy face problem. Still stays at 14 strength. Yeah, I guess he can take Wave of Nationalism. Skips on those riflemen. Will be interesting if Djinges will let him have that or not. Yeah, Wave of Nationalism definitely seems good, and then he makes it so he can grab a rifleman. Doesn't have corruption, so it looks like a pretty good turn for him. Problem, of course, is Djinges can definitely play an aggression on him, but it doesn't matter what he draws.
Yep. Just cross your fingers and hope it's not too bad.
Yeah, I hope that Djinges doesn't have any in hand, but we know that Brent definitely has enough aggressions. So let's see if Djinges will play one of those 3 aggressions he has in hand. He looks at his hand again and sees that he definitely can win whatever he has drawn. Even 2 defend cards from H3 would not be enough to defend.
He has a raid.
Oh, he plays the war instead.
War.
Can delete another lab. And a religion. Oh, and that Air Force.
He has that Air Force. Wow.
Oh, what did he do?
Built a religion?
Oh, he had
What did he
heavy.
do?
Oh, he deleted a lab to go for a religion. Interesting that he doesn't. I mean, the aggression is super safe this turn, and I mean the raid would be pretty nice, right? Destroying that the labs from blue, but he goes for that war instead. Interesting. So let's see how blue can defend, if at all. I guess
You could have Air Force done the war with the Air Force the next turn, right?
yeah. So blue plays Polarization Science, hopes for something that helps him, and this definitely does. A little bit, at
He
least.
can win now.
Djinges can't really bet a lot for that, right? I guess he will bet that knight and these colonization cards. I mean, loses him 4 strength, but that might be okay. So yeah, he grabs that with the knights. Even with that, the military action is really hindering PhiTrigger here. I mean, if he got like military theory that came out just now, then he could definitely do a lot with that. Can still go for a rifleman. But the problem is, even if he goes for rifleman and cannons, he could go for 1 rifleman, upgrade that, and 1 cannon, but then he can't play the tactic that he has, because he's missing military actions. And that will keep being a problem if he doesn't get more military actions, so...
Yeah, he can... I mean, if he did do navigation, cannon, build a cannon, play the tactic, I think he would at least tie the war if he wanted to do all of that.
Oh, goes for an early oil. I mean, if you spend your science, you still lose a lot. Like, you produce 8 science that you're gonna lose, and the civil service. I guess, oh, he can go up to 19 with the other tactic. Yeah, that doesn't seem too bad.
Oh.
Ah, he found a pretty nice turn here, I think. Does have a lot of civil actions as well, so he can take a lot of cards. Goes for movies. I mean, the problem still is he's only defending, and he should be the one applying pressure to catch up the culture lead. That is getting pretty enormous at the moment.
It is.
So I still don't like his position, but this turn isn't as bad as I thought it would be with that oil.
Yeah, he's down by 60 culture.
Yeah, that is quite a lot to catch up. And he's thinking about what cards to grab here. The movies or the engineering geniuses, the urban growth, so a lot of different options. And goes for multimedia. Do we have any idea what leaders from H3 are coming? These guys really not looking at the leaders that often to see what's coming. Maybe they've looked at that in the beginning and just remembered that. So Djinges dealing 4 science. Could play another aggression, right? If we take a look, blue is still at only 2 military actions, so he could try that. And looks like he's thinking about that. I mean, the armed... Oh, he wants to go for plunder. Yeah, he really needs resource production. Or resources at all, so yeah, going for that. Can steal a lot of resources. Can go for an air force this turn. So I think Djinges' game plan is just don't let PhiTrigger produce any culture. Put everything into military, and you don't have to even win wars. Just deny blue from winning wars against you and denying him to spend all of his resources on culture production.
Yeah.
Taking away that fundamentalism, so PhiTrigger doesn't get more military actions.
Yeah. Yeah, these is not, the military actions are not coming for him.
There's Pierre, so Pierre's in the game, guys. That is pretty awesome, but no one is really set up for that. Pretty sad to see.
What can you do with 14 resources?
Well, generally you can do quite a lot with that, depending what you want to go for. I mean, multimedia can be pretty good. Problem still is,
Yeah.
as long as you stay this weak, then you're gonna get more aggressions on you.
Yep.
And that's not really what you want. So it takes one from iron and puts them on knights? Or what is he thinking about? Take a worker from iron, put him on just oil, use it as a free selection. Okay. He was hovering slightly around Pierre, so I was getting pretty excited, but now looks like looks like we're not gonna see Pierre this yet. He might still find his time. He comes out exactly next to professional sports, so we could definitely see him. So we're going up to 22 with this play, but yeah, you're gonna get another aggression. Djinges knows he couldn't defend last turn, and he definitely can't defend this turn. So taking that Republic really coming back to hurt blue quite a lot. I don't know if he had a choice really to go for something else.
Yeah, it was a risk. I think Kanman wasn't out yet.
Yeah. Yeah, if this Republic was Conman instead, then game might look very differently. I mean, I think he recovered pretty nicely with that early iron. He was able to tank both of the aggressions that Djinges played on him, but then struggling with those military actions really hurt him. And yeah, there's the armed intervention, so stealing what little culture blue has. And I wouldn't be surprised if Djinges just used this freedom of movement, put something into more cannons or something like that, even more air forces. Just keep up your military. Looks like air forces are too expensive because he needs some food to produce. Goes for religion. Djinges really likes his religion, it seems. And did he grab that?
Have the Red Cross.
The Red Cross without any food, with 0 food and 1 production, or even -1 production at the start of the turn. That is pretty bold. And no reserves in hand or anything.
Yeah, what is that? What's that about? I wonder.
I mean, blue has 5 food in hand, so I don't know where he would really take that. mean, it's a good wonder, but not like this. Okay, he goes for that Air Force. I mean, yeah, he doesn't really need the International Red Cross. He doesn't need more culture. Just needs to deny the culture production from blue. There's Bill, so maybe Djinges will go up more than 3 resource production after all.
Maybe. It's not a good game unless he goes down to 1 bronze.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, you might be right, Yakub. And blue is missing still his military actions, so going for Pierre and professional sports just for the strength could be really good. You don't need military actions to go for professional sports, and they still give 4 strength. Problem is he doesn't really have enough population, right?
Yep. Just always a step behind on the military.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really hard to catch up with military if you are struggling with your military actions. Yeah, I mean, grab away Bill Gates, then you go up to 24 resource production. I mean, at some point resources are not gonna carry you. Yeah, I mean, the space flights might give you some culture. Do you like that, going for Bill Gates here? I mean, you denied for Djinges a little bit, but I mean, it's pretty late, Bill Gates, so it's not going to give you that much resources. So Pierre's going to give you
something with Pierre in professional sports.
Yeah,
seems pretty good. But yeah, population's still an issue. I mean, you're really between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah,
at this point.
Yeah, this is one of those games. I don't know if you can enjoy those, but if you're behind from the beginning, getting those aggressions on you, but you feel like you can maybe have a chance because you have more resource production, and then you think you stabilize, and then it just crashes down on you because the opponent just plays his wars and aggressions, and you just fall behind more and more. And you're struggling to find something that will put you in a good space, but
yeah,
this doesn't really work.
He's trying to make the best of a bad situation.
Yeah. Even has military buildup and wave nationalism, so normally you would say, okay, he has enough resources so he can defend. But he has enough resources anyway, he's just missing his military actions, so yeah. Sometimes you can't really emphasize that enough, that you need those military actions.
Yeah. It's he has everything else.
Yeah.
Just about.
Now he has a little bit less, losing multimedia and scientific method to that aggression from Djinges. Doesn't show mercy.
No.
Djinges also going for that fast food.
It's kind of interesting. I mean, we're seeing here a clear example of, you know, being punished with not enough military actions, and I mean that can happen with anything. You know, you're good on everything. You don't have enough science, for example, or something.
Yeah.
But do you think, you know, the game's about managing your bottlenecks, you know, keeping things up,
yeah,
being careful with that. do you think military actions are more important than, say, something else?
As a bottleneck, yeah, probably. I think we have a very good example in front of us where it's not always like in last game. If you didn't have enough military actions, maybe it was no problem, but it can get punished quite heavily, very fast. I mean, this game it wasn't really fast. It has been building up for the last couple of turns, where Djinges was building up his military and playing one aggression after the other, and PhiTrigger just not being able to defend. So I think, yeah, that can be one of the most punishable things that are there. I mean, if someone has not enough resource production, he can just take some reserves and efficient upgrades and all of that. Maybe events help him. But for military action, there is really no such thing. Maybe some leaders, but yeah, those... if you don't have the leader, even 3 military actions is not that great, so getting some more military actions is really, really important. So I think, yeah, I think I would say that is one of the most important parts where you get punished quite a lot.
Yeah, and you know, unfortunately for PhiTrigger here, military theory still has not come out, right?
Yeah. And it would be 50-50 who gets it. Definitely think Djinges would take that away. That is the biggest problem. You would say, you usually think, okay, there's another card that can save me, but if you're in a position where you need this one card to be able to be okay, then it's 50-50 if you get it or the other player gets it, and you don't want to put yourself in such a position. Okay, so PhiTrigger getting a lot of culture with that spaceflight, a little bit with Steve Jobs. So this turn is not looking too bad. Of course, there might be coming more aggressions. Let's just hope that PhiTrigger has his time in mind. He's down to 50 seconds in reserve. Oh, it's running down.
It is.
Please. I think he has that in mind. He's playing really fast. He tries to find something good. "15 seconds. I mean, after that he gets a new reserve, so he's fine after that. "8 seconds. Ah, he made it.
Alright.
4 seconds left in reserve. That is pretty close.
Whew.
Living on the edge.
Yeah.
So there's military theory.
He considers. Yeah. Does he think about a war here? Is that what he did? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, really having no mercy at all. Doesn't want to finish his fast with chance. He just wants to really punish PhiTrigger.
And he's sitting on an Air Force military build-up, wave of nationalism, but only 2 military actions.
Yeah, and not enough science to go for military theory.
Yeah.
So much potential, but he can't go for that. Djinges has already declared the war, and that's why we are not seeing it in his hand anymore. So he already declared that and goes for this. So 60 strength and the war. I mean, he loses Djinges. He loses Napoleon, so that's 6 strength gone. I don't think we can forfeit in the last age, right?
Yep.
Can't
so he
resign.
just has to muscle through.
Yeah, he just wanted to show that he would like to resign. He can't resign, and he can't recover, yeah.
Yep, yeah, that is interesting. It's that swordsman decision in the beginning.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, last time he also thought about that, right?
Yeah, I think last time he took it, right? I think.
And Djinges just replying, GG well played. Maybe gives off a nice comment what he thinks, but I guess we're also gonna have them on the call again and see what they think about that game and the last one. We have really two very different games.
Yeah.
Oh, Djinges thinks he was missing military action. I might agree, yeah.
Huh. Yeah, that's a good perspective. He thinks he was losing really early and started taking risks. Be fun to hear him talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, I personally think people can overvalue those early aggressions. And it's still not... Yeah. It wasn't looking too bad at some point, but that can often be not being how it really is. You don't see everything. So pretty interesting, the perspective of taking risks, but I think if you're taking risks, military actions shouldn't be the one you take the risks on and not getting any.
I guess the risk there was, I'll do this, I'll get an early military theory. It'll be okay.
Yeah. I mean, even then it's... I mean, he went for oil and everything, he had a crazy amount of production. Just couldn't... Yeah, I mean, we talked about that enough. It just came down to the military actions in the end. Maybe it was decided earlier with the aggressions and everything. Definitely was a very strong early game by Djinges. So I can get quite a lot of culture production. I don't know, have we any impacts in there? It seems like we have one impact at least. Don't know exactly what that is.
Yeah, I don't recall either.
And he has a nice wonder that he can go for. Maybe even grabs military theory. Nope. Doesn't want that. Will finish and go down with those two military actions.
Yeah.
So let's see what Djinges' last turn will look like. Stealing 23 culture. And of course another aggression. So he can still finish that fast food chains. Another 16 culture. Could deny the military theory, doesn't want to do that. Doesn't want to drag out the game any longer.
Yeah. Has mercy finally.
Yeah, finally after about 5 or 6 aggressions, 2 wars. And last game we had no single war and... Oh no, we had that one war. I thought about that.
One at the very end, yeah. And
And
then it just continued throughout this whole game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, last game we had that one war that was intentionally lost to deny that wonder, and now this pretty crazy different games. And okay, blue finally getting those military actions. A little bit too late maybe, but yeah. So input of agriculture is pretty nice. Let's see. And the input of architecture. Then
well, he
that
did
was
win
it.
both impacts.
Yeah, he did. Just missing a little bit of culture there. So yeah, pretty nice game. The first one was a lot closer, I think. So that's what can happen in a very military intensive early game. Yeah, I think we can get both these guys in the chat or on the phone, right?
Yeah, let's try to do that.
So I'm calling them right now. Let's see if they pick up.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey man. Yeah, tell us about that last game. It looks like you had a lot to say about that.
Yeah, I played too risky. I think I should have just taken the swords. I almost took the first swords, but I thought that another red tech would come a lot sooner.
Yeah, so you blamed a lot of that on the early game, right? We were discussing that Djinges had a very amazing early game with those heavy cavalry, with Genghis Khan and everything. And
Yeah, I mean, I could have broken that up by taking the swords, and I think I should have, but I also considered. So usually I'll take iron like I did, but I did see that that leader was there, and I considered that if he pressures me with military, it won't be a very good move to take iron for 3. But then also, if I pass it, then he gets iron for 2, and he doesn't have to take that leader. So it was like a very awkward situation.
Interesting.
yeah.
And I don't know, like, things could have. So let's say I pass iron there, and he doesn't take that leader, takes a different leader that's an economic leader, takes iron for 2, and then iron doesn't show up for like the whole first. Then he doesn't build his Coliseum, he just upgrades iron. I'm just like totally screwed on economy. There's no way I'm coming back from that.
Yeah, for me it felt like
Yeah.
you had a little bit of a comeback with the iron and everything at some point, and then
Yeah,
it didn't
it
look
was
too
close.
bad.
Like I almost turned the corner.
Yeah.
If I had one more civil action, like if I had been able to get Code of Laws in like age 1 or something like that, then, or like if a government had come out early, then I could have gotten that strategy. But that strategy being at 3 CA, and like if I take it there, and then he gets Newton and scientific method like together, and just like buries me in economy. So I didn't really think that was going to work very well. Because I couldn't like adopt it either, because I needed that science to be able to get a government.
Yeah.
Right.
I considered just not taking the Republic and just hoping that I'd get constitutional monarchy, and that might have been the right choice, but I don't know. I was hoping that I could just snowball economic advantage really quickly, but unfortunately, did not work out that way.
Yeah, we talked about that. That the Republic, that a lot of people said that you were basically forced into that because you needed these civil actions, and I guess you must have seen that as well, that you really needed military actions. If that was like reverse, that you got the Conmon instead of the Republic,
Oh
at that
yeah,
point,
I would have
then
won the game easily if I'd had that.
yeah,
No, I know, and it was a tough turn. It was just so much advantage.
I can hear you, Djinges. I can hear you, Djinges. I can.
you can what?
Can y'all? Can everybody else hear him?
I can't.
I can't hear him.
No.
No,
No.
it says, yeah, I don't know. Are we talking on the other one? And he's no, because he's in.
Still in the first one.
I see us all in here, and I can hear everybody, but you
I
can't
don't
hear each other.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Maybe we can close the connection. So now I'm back in. Now I don't hear any of these guys. Yeah, so having some problems here with the Discord. So let's see if we get that under control. Hey man, are you back, Elmric?
I'm here.
I can hear you. That's good. I went out of the conversation and rejoined, and I couldn't hear anybody. So let's maybe just try this again and invite PhiTrigger again. So you did? Can you hear me now? I can hear you guys.
Yeah. So Djinges, we're join the Discord chat. There you go. we have 3 of us.
It looks like Djinges went offline, so maybe we don't get our winners interview, sadly. Would really love to hear what he thought about those games. You're still here, right, PhiTrigger?
So,
what did you think about the first game?
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
way different than the last one.
Oh yeah, it was a lot different. Well, one just on that game, while I still remember it, the other issue was because he got Genghis so early, he generated about 36 culture to almost 40. So because of that, I had to also make a lot more risks in my middle game to be able to catch up to him in culture. Like I couldn't just play like a normal game.
Yeah. So can we hear Djinges
Okay,
now?
can you hear me again?
Yeah, now we
Yeah,
can
we
hear
can
you.
hear you now.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Know what was there?
Yeah. So we're just talking about the first game. That was way different than the
Yeah,
last
that was
game.
really close. That was really close, that first game. I think 3 points in the end, or what was it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
if I'd had anything, I had impact of strength and I was like 50-50 on seeding it, and if I had it, I think because the thing was I knew it was disguised by the war. So like if I seeded it, I don't and you didn't play to like pass me in strength, so I would have won with it. And I thought that you would think that I had impact of science by the way I played, so I probably should have just seeded it, but I didn't. It was kind of dumb.
Yeah, I was playing for science in the end, I think.
One thing we ask ourselves, Djinges, so why didn't you play Impact of Balance in the end? I think PhiTrigger deleted all of his mines. And you had that Impact of Balance in hand, right?
Yeah. Hey, maybe I didn't see that, I think.
Yeah, maybe. So
I wasn't thinking
I
about
was
that.
I was afraid that he would. I deleted like 2. I didn't end up deleting them all. Or maybe I did. I don't remember. I was back and forth. But he was only getting like 4 points or 6 points or something, so it wasn't like a big deal.
I think I remember. I was pretty sure he played Impact of Science, and I wanted to overcome him, and didn't want to trigger that event.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I didn't play Impact of Balance. That was the reason.
Yeah.
I just remembered. But
that
maybe it would
was-
have been good anyway.
That was something I was thinking about too, and I deleted my mines. Is I thought that you might be afraid of that.
yeah, pretty interesting. And then that second game, your thoughts on that, Djinges?
Yeah, I think it was a lot closer than it seemed, because in the end it was only 60 points. Also, I really won the war at the end. So if I hadn't drawn the war, or it was a bit closer with the military actions, I think it would have been a lot closer that last game. So at some points I felt like I was pretty in front, but at the end I thought, oh, okay, it was tighter than I thought.
If you didn't get like those raids off, like if I had a defensive card in the first raid, I think that even with 2 military actions, I probably could have, because then I would have had enough science to be able to get the military theory or get a different government.
Probably yes.
Wow.
Because if I had military actions, I had like all the production because I had Napoleonic army, and I could have like if you'd warred me or done anything, I could have just set it all up, but I didn't have enough military actions.
Yeah, that was my thought as well. So I pretty much thought about taking away all the military actions that showed up at any point. Not give you any of that.
Yeah,
it was just really
nice.
interesting because you had all of the like military resource cards at the end and Air Force and like just not the actions to use them. It was an interesting situation.
Yeah, I only could make the war because he didn't had any science to get more military actions, so there was no way he could get up more than like 10 military strength.
I played to hope that you didn't have a war at that point.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to play.
I could have played to have 11 science, but I just didn't think that was like a winning line.
Right. Yeah.
That's why I took the oil line too, because like at that point, well, I'm gonna lose stuff. I might as well just try to rebuild.
Yeah, it was all in at that point for you. I was going all in earlier, and then you had to go all in. Me having not the war, so yeah, I think it was the only chance for you.
I got a lot of economy immediately from that oil too. So like, if you didn't have those things, the aggressions, they would have been really interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely very interesting, and really awesome to see such different games, like they were like day and night. I think people were pretty hyped to see such high level players at like 2 strength at the beginning of H3. We don't see that very often, but
Yeah.
that was really
Well, it's
awesome to
it's
see.
a Cold War though. I mean, you see our strength so low, but it's a Cold War, and he that was the other thing. I couldn't believe how many colonies he actually drew, because you went in on like the colony line before you drew the colonies, and then you drew all the colonies after that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, I think Suez Canal got picked and there were no colonies in play yet, but the next 4 cards in the deck were colonies.
Yeah, I really got only colonies at that point, so it was really good for me.
Yeah, it was really interesting. And it was, the 3 religions were really were kind of fun also.
Yeah,
I noticed that, and I was hoping to like set up a war at the end of H2, but it didn't end up going because he would have gotten in trouble for having those 3 religions.
Yeah.
by the way, Djinges, did you plan to use Bach to upgrade those religions? Was that the original plan, or did you just see I can go for Joan of Arc with these religions, or was there something like the plan for Bach behind that?
I wasn't planning for Bach earlier, but I think the 3rd religion was for free for me.
Yeah.
Was where I got it for free, the action
Oh
card.
yeah. That free religion one, that was really annoying for me.
Yes,
Because
it was really good.
I wanted a religion, and but I had to seed on that last one because I had to get it into the deck.
Yeah, I think I got it for free, and I wouldn't have built a 3rd one. But I think 2 religions is fine with Joan of Arc, and so the 3rd was just a bonus for me.
Well, so my mistake that turn that I almost didn't do, and you might have seen me on camera, because I almost raised my population again instead of taking a card, and the card wasn't really all that, but it was like maybe very marginally better. And if I had just like raised the population instead of taking like an urban growth or whatever I took, then I would have gotten the free religion, and that would have actually made a huge difference in that game.
Yeah, I think.
Well, the reason why is because that reduces the science cost on everything when I put in my other leader. So I was gonna build it anyway, like at some point.
Okay, guys, I'm just having to go.
Yeah.
And really thank you for the game.
Yeah, thank you for playing, and hope you enjoyed that.
And have a nice evening.
Yeah, thanks. Congratulations on the win, and have a good night.
Thank you.
Yes.
You too.
Yes, thank you. That was
Bye.
great.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
All right.
So yeah, pretty.
So
awesome
what did
games.
you guys think about what I should have done in that situation with like the leaders and the iron? Like, what do you think you would have done?
You mean in the second game, the early iron for 3
Yeah,
civilizations?
I mean, I guess since I have Roman roads, I didn't necessarily like. Maybe I could sort of compete with iron with Roman roads.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we talked about that when we played together on one of my recent streams, that you value iron that highly, and I don't really do as much in 2-player games. I think that just comes down to playstyle. I would never have gotten that iron for 3 selections. That's not something I do in 2-player games, really. If it's the first iron.
Yeah, it's only when it comes out immediately that that it's worth it. Like, I'm not usually gonna grab it for 3 if it comes out in like the second or the third like cycle. Because the earlier it is, the more chance that you'll have it and they won't have anything.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so you're sort of betting on getting that one early and the next one not coming out for a while.
Well, the idea is that you skip on your wonder and just improve iron, because iron is actually more efficient. Like, you get more out of it for what compared to any of the wonder.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it helps to be able. You have to actually leverage it too, so that's another problem.
Yeah.
And he hit like a lot of production events, so that was kind of. because that doesn't always happen. In like 4-player, that happens a lot, but
Yeah.
in 2-player, that doesn't happen that much because I can just not seed anything.
I think especially with the Roman roads, they cost so many civilizations, like 4 steps, and then also spending 3 civilizations on the iron might have been
I
too much.
don't
that...
like those two together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I do not like getting Roman roads with iron.
Yeah.
Like I don't usually like the two together.
Yeah, he did get pretty lucky too. I mean, he had he took Genghis, and then drew the heavy cavalry.
Yeah, I know, because he seeded the other one. I'm like, oh, okay, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
Because when he took Genghis, I'm like, oh, great, he already has heavy cavalry. Because even before he took it, I considered that it might happen. And I'm like, oh man, because I almost took Genghis, like just to take it,
Right.
Yeah.
just to block that from happening. But I'm just like, well, I got to take some risks.
Yep.
Because actually Genghis, and you get it that early in the game, and you have heavy cavalry. There's nothing in the game that's stronger than that.
Yeah, it's tough to deal with for sure.
Because you not only have control over everything and can get free aggressions, but you get like 40 culture. That's insane.
Yep.
Yep.
But it has to come out like immediately, and that was like the first card in the all the row, I think, or the second, maybe the second one.
Yep, that was tough.
So yeah,
I mean,
really
it could easily have gone a different direction just with a small change here and there for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for joining us for the after-match interview, and thanks for playing again. Really awesome to see such high-level play, with the first game being super close and the second one also being, as Djinges put it, closer than it looked. So definitely were really amazing games. Thanks for
I had a lot of fun. Thanks for hosting this. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Definitely might do something like this again. And yeah, guess we're gonna close the call, and then we're gonna finish the stream, me and Almeric. So thanks again for joining, and yeah,
see you later, guys.
See you later.
Bye.
So let's get back in touch with Almeric. By the way, Stella, yeah, sadly they didn't win anything yet besides the fame. At some later point, maybe they do win something. Might definitely do something like that. Up until now it's only fame, but quite a lot of fame, I think. Are you back, Almeric? Looks like a no. Oh, I have to close that bit, right. Right. Have to do that. Thanks for reminding me. A lot of people bet a lot of points or a lot of culture on that. 6 bets on Djinges and 3 bets on PhiTrigger. A loyalty pot or culture pot of 459 culture was up for grabs. And those who bet on Djinges were of course the winner. So congratulations, guys. You win a lot of culture. Congratulations.
I made it back.
You made it back. Perfect.
So, I tried to bet on PhiTrigger, but it didn't take my bet, so I didn't actually lose my culture.
That's a good move. That's a really good move.
Yeah.
And we have some really rich guys here. Deluxe with 141 culture. Oh, and Starly with 309 culture. That is quite a lot.
So what can I do with my culture these days?
I don't know. On the black market, I think you can get about 1 cent per 1,000 culture or something. You can use your science to unlock stuff, but you gain science and culture for winning. So that's pretty awesome. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. That's something a little bit different than usual. I really enjoyed it, and talking to you, Almeric. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Definitely. Also, guys, if you are interested in the next tournament, me and Almeric are gonna organize one. That is in the making, right?
It is. It's in the making. You can check out the Through the Ages Reddit, Through the Ages subreddit, or Board Game Geek. There's a post with a link to a form you can just submit just to get your name on the list. And pretty soon we'll have the list ready and get that going. So check that out and get signed up if you want to play.
Perfect. So yeah, guys, as we said in the beginning, check also out the Twitch channel from Almrek, who has joined me for today. Twitch.tv/PlayTTA, right?
PlayTTA, yep. Same
PlayTTA.
thing on YouTube. PlayTTA, there's some videos there as well.
Awesome. So, any closing words you want to let out? Any final thoughts on the games?
Any final thoughts on the games? Well, I think it was. I mean, that first match, I think, really set the tone. Like it was, you know, we got to see some unique things, or just things you don't see in a game every day, and it ended up really, really close in the end. And the second one highlighted one of the principles of Through the Ages, which is don't get caught without military actions.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. This. Yeah, I think the first game was awesome. That's what I think a lot of people want to see. Not always military games, but also these culture-heavy games where you can see these cards working that look so nice, like the movies and all of that. Having above 20 culture production in 1v1s is not often, but it's really awesome to see that. So I was glad we got one of those games and not only the war games like in the second game.
Yeah, definitely. By the last few turns of the second game were, more of a known quantity, or I guess it was less up in the air.
Yeah, of course, you always want to see exciting end evaluations where the impacts in the end decide everything. That is what you want to see. Like you get into the game and before the events, it's really close, and then they shift up and down and everything, and it's really so exciting to see. That's what I love most, basically, about the game.
Oh, can I make one more plug here?
Of course.
So it sounds like Deluxe is pointing out. Deluxe, if you remember, was the champion of the last tournament.
Of course, I remember Deluxe, famous Deluxe. Yeah.
And Deluxe was in my league for the international championship this time around. And so there are some great matches between us, and pretty soon he and I are gonna talk through one of those matches together. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be on probably my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And it looks like, Lyrian Klaus, right? He does some great YouTube videos also.
Yeah.
I didn't know this yet, but Deluxe is saying it that he and I are in the same league for the Intermezzo Championship. So that will be fun. Maybe we'll get some videos from both sides.
Sounds
I look
awesome.
forward to that.
Yeah. Really nice. So I think, guys, this will wrap up the stream for today. Can let us know if you enjoyed that. You can, I don't know, message us, or if you have any things you like input, we are always happy to get input. But for now, that will close the stream for today. I really had a lot of fun. I hope you as well. And hope that I see you tomorrow. Tomorrow will be normal stream again, a little bit earlier as always on Sunday. But hope I see a lot of you guys on tomorrow. Until then, stay safe and stay hydrated.